we need maybe there needs to be
I think
another hole.
Nipples. I mean, girls have the holes in the nipples, right? So then, but the guys don't have it, but the girls can. Because,
well, they only have.
And it's the best place actually.
They become pregnant.
But okay, so there's a spider woman who's pregnant.
I fixed it.
Oh, you fixed it? Oh, I didn't change anything. I just brought it up.
Do you want to know? You don't like it covering your face.
Yeah, it's not covering too
But
much.
now it's crooked.
That's when we finish your.
What the fuck is that?
Leftover Halloween.
What was that?
I know. I took it off already. Where's
Like, what the fuck is that?
It looked like a strand of a witch's hair.
It's
It's from the party.
Who are you cheating on me with?
An old
Treating-
man.
It sounded like you were recording it, but it sounded good. It sounded like
An old man?
Ooh, damn. It was a sugar daddy.
An old man with long hair?
Yep.
Sugar daddy.
Do you want me to grow my hair out? Is that the message? Or do you want me to dye my hair? What's the message?
No, he just has money. That's the message. Screw my phone. I'm just kidding.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
When you get a hot cocoa with whipped cream on top, are you the type to mix the whipped cream or do you leave it on so that it would sink into the hotness?
Fuck, I can't remember the last time I had hot cocoa, to be honest.
Alright.
If I'd have had it in front of me, I would probably not touch it. I just leave it.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't touch this. I don't know. Kind of just left it there.
Did you get influenced by an outside source?
No, I'm just saying because I didn't do anything to this one. I feel like I do the same thing with the other one. Unless it might change my decision if this was open. If I saw the foam. I didn't really see the foam. So maybe I'll mix it. I
have a feeling you sound a bit far away. Don't you feel? Did you sound a bit far away?
I feel like there's more sound on one side. I cannot tell. That's just me. But
Am I not been plugged in properly?
Maybe they're not plugged in properly.
Check the plug on the top. Too.
Is this? Wait, hold up.
I mean, it's working.
Oh, you see that?
Oh,
there.
that
I think that might change some. Wait, hold up. You see if I change the angle of what was something? There you go.
Plugged in properly.
Is that better? That might be a little better.
If we lived in
that's a little better.
That's so much better.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's a little better.
I feel like if we lived in a simulation, those little crackles would happen more often. Those little right? That's much better. Great. All right, sound test.
Sound testicles
on the spot.
1, 2. On the spot?
I mean, on the, you're supposed to do a sound test before recording.
Well, it's too late. We're already recording. Hello, guys.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to episode number 24.
We were just talking about how terrible I am at parties. Well, we talked about this in a previous episode, how terrible we are at speeches. And I think it's because the more, let's just catch them up to the conversation, the more anticipation I have at a social event, the worse I perform at a social event. And maybe the key takeaway is that it's not a performance, and maybe I think about it in that way. Is that I'm presenting myself, here are the pros, and I would not like to show the cons. And I think I put that sort of pressure on myself. And so...
Yeah, I feel like we're both like that too, in a way where...
Are you like that at all?
I think so. I'm kind of like you in a way where if I plan stuff out or if I have to do like a speech or anything like that, you're anticipating something. I think it's just that we're scared of this anticipation, basically. I think the more kind of just straight at it, where we go at it, like we don't get nervous. We just kind of go on the spot and just roll with it, basically. I think we're more with the roll with it kind of thing in the social kind of setting like that, in a party. I think because if I were to plan out this and that and all these, then you'll be in your head too much and you're like, fuck, you'll just say something random and you're like, oh, I didn't mean to say that. But I think if you're just if you're put in there, I think if we're thrown in there, I think we could do fine without like kind of planning anything in the social setting. Yeah. I think I'm like that too, in a way. I don't like to anticipate a lot of stuff too, because then I just get in my head a lot.
Yeah.
And it fucks up everything.
But on the flip side, I'm also, I was anticipating, on one level, I was anticipating this podcast, and I thought it was going to go one way, which was the roll with the punches way, right? And then you texted us in a group chat and you kind of threw in the should I wear a suit so we could talk about elections. And then I thought to myself, I thought we were rolling with punches. And so I got sort of nervous because now I had to anticipate a different setup to a new conversation, which brewed a sort of, damn, I'm gonna go on this run real quick and I'm about to meditate.
Did you go on a run?
I did go on a run, so I'm proud of myself for that.
Damn. I was gonna work out today and I didn't. So
doesn't that make you feel bad?
Yeah.
Right?
I hate when I miss a day when I don't work out and I know I could have worked out.
So a +1 for Jeremy and a -1 for Armando.
Yeah, there we go. Elections.
So we're even out there. But I did. Did you want to segue? I was gonna.
Oh no! Go continue with however you were thinking this earlier today.
So anyway, I went on this run, and every time I run, I don't run a lot. It's actually my least favorite way to exercise.
Where did you run? Were you running around your neighborhood?
I usually have a plan, and I say head on Gary and just go all the way to Park Presidio. But today I felt like I was almost like a car in downtown town with the GPS rolling and me not knowing where to go, and sort of it was like, oh, I'm turning here, and then now I'm turning here.
Which is kind of fun. That's actually probably the funnest thing about running, when you're kind of just going everywhere. But then you gotta know how many miles. If you're more wanting to know like how much you're running, if you wanna, and then you still have to go back. That's the other thing. You always gotta remember that. If you're going one way, you still have to come back the same way you came through.
Yeah.
Or so
it's sort of.
But I like how you're experimenting, because then eventually you had to come back, right? You're like, fuck, I took this whole route, now I have to come back another 5 miles.
Well, it depends if you're like in the city around your house or are you in a park. It's if you go crazy in a park, you might get lost. Right? Thankfully, I did not get lost. I just ran around where I lived.
And you were meditating in this run, it kind of got you in that zone. You're like, easy, right? Did it get you like, well, because you were anxious, I'm guessing, coming into this year.
I definitely felt, each run for me is profound. And I think it's because I don't do it often. And so each time it has an effect on me. I think if I did it more often, it probably would be less profound. But, I just remember thinking that I didn't feel like doing it. And
when you were running.
Yeah. And I was walking and panting and look from the outside in and look at you, you wimp. You can't even run a block without taking a break. And I told myself, this is your past, or the state at which you are now, a weakling. Your weakling self is telling you that take a break. And then I felt like I was running away from my weakling self, physically and mentally, as I was running. And it was a sort of good feeling to know that I'm almost running towards my future, as cheesy as this sounds. I'm trying to be the person that I want to be, rather than the person that I am now. The person I am now is telling me, take a break. It's too hot on this side of the street. Go on the shady side. Right? And so
that's a real running thing.
Yeah.
That everybody, if you run, you're like, fuck, it's hot on that side. But then if you want to push yourself a little bit, you go to that hot side a little bit.
Like, this side is flat, and so you go flat, but you hit a dead end, you have to go up eventually. And so, yeah, it was a profound
You're only
experience.
cheating yourself, basically, if you're kind of doing that. Like, there's this mental kind of barricade you want to break when you're running. You're like, I want to become either I get something from it in this run, or I learn something new, and you want to do that every time you run. I think, because I'm always in one of those points where I'm like running, I'm like, why the fuck am I running? Like, why did I do this? But then you get that stride going, and then at one point you're like, oh fuck, this just feels so good. Like you feel like $1 million. You feel like you could do anything. You're like, fuck yeah.
I don't think I've reached that point.
I don't know.
I would like to reach that point, and I think it's possible for me to reach that point.
It's possible. You just have to keep running. You'll find that point. I think it's the runner's high, basically, when you get to that runner's high. And you haven't, I don't know if you've felt that runner's high. I feel it is real. It is real as fuck. You do actually feel that thing kind of just kick in.
Yeah.
But it's so short. That's why with running, of course, people will do it for that short spurt for sure, and you'll feel it.
I do remember the one time, not to flex, but we ran I ran 9 miles. Y'all kept it going.
I mean, another good friend of ours, 3 of us. It was a winter, right?
Yes. And I do remember a moment, and it's weird to talk about this sort of physical activity without sounding like spiritual or whatever, because now we're talking about runner's high, and then now I'm about to go to the next level. And I felt like, I think when you're running one way, you're zoned in, right? So you kind of don't see, it's sort of like a vignette and it's blurred on the outside. And I felt there was a point, and I don't know if this is runner's high, but there was a point where I felt like I wasn't running, I was just being taken. You know, I was like, this is,
it was kind of, something was dragging you, something was kind of like pushing you for.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's psychological, or I don't know if I'm over-analyzing what's happening, but a lot of the times I think I'm over-analyzing what's happening. But it helped me, whatever it was, it helped me to run and continue. So I did the thing, I did the damn thing.
That's interesting, because when I think if I were to take that approach where I'm just like, I go running anywhere, I'll get to one point where I'm like, okay, let me just go back, because I'm already tired, and you didn't have like this certain path that you're gonna take in the route, or this certain route of the run, right? Yeah. That's why I think that's why I kind of put myself like a route where I'm gonna go running. I'm gonna go run around to the whole hill, and then that's the route. Yeah. And that's what I do the whole time. So then, it'll keep me going. So I'm like, I'm halfway through the whole hill, but I'm like, I still gotta go through around the whole hill. So that's my route. But if I do more your approach where I kind of go anywhere, I'll probably get more lazy. So I think so. I need more of that.
Also, the twisting and turnings, right? I mean, we're talking about running a lot, but I think you know those apps that you were talking about, telling you how much you're running,
how many miles.
I wish they would tell you how many
spiritual journeys you're going through.
I'll stop you there. I'm not going that far. But I wish it told me how many turns I took, because I think that should be counted. I think I should be proud of how many turns I took. Because turns are easier or harder than going straight, and I kind of want to pat on the back for my 37 turns today that I did.
You got it. I'm proud of you though. You gotta keep running. I mean, but the turns, you could just see that on GPS. You could just see where you're going. You know that.
But what about that? I mean, it's when you get a Fitbit, right? Count. It tells you that
you want the count.
You got 10,000 steps. How about like 10,000 turns, right? Something like that. You know.
I want something so unrealistic. I wanted to know like when you get that high. Like imagine when it wouldn't know that.
You might have to be plugged into something crazy.
Yeah, like your fucking brain. Yeah. And it gets it and it records it. There you go. At the 30-minute mark, you got that high. Why are we talking about running? I was voting today and I got nervous. I felt like it was a test, and I was like, "Fuck!" I could. You know when you cramp up your hand, and you're so tense when you're like taking a test. That's what happened. I was like, "Fuck!" I'm like, I got my hand was hurting and shit. Just from freaking voting. It's like it was only a couple pages, but it felt so intense.
Has it been a while since you wrote anything?
No, because usually I would like, even when I'm teaching art, like I'll have to like write or like help them out with drawing. So then maybe writing, but no, it's only you're only filling in a little oval with with the ink pen. You're only doing that. So
because there's sometimes if I don't draw in a while, my hand easily cramps up.
No, it was just like a simple fill in the circle. That's all you have to do. Yes or no.
You were nervous taking.
I was just like
because.
What was nervous? No, there's just so much. What's just a big thing? Like you're voting, you're putting your stuff to the world, even though the world doesn't know it. But like that's your vote for the whole election. So and I think it was a big moment in my life today. Maybe that's why I was hyped up today, because I was just like, wow. Okay.
And it was your first time voting.
Yeah, it was my first time voting. First time fucking voting.
Did it feel good?
It felt good. It felt really good. Yeah, like at least you're in control of something. At least. and that's it's a little thing, but at least I think it's empowering. I remember this. I went to drop it off today, and there was this one girl who dropped it off, and she's like, I don't know what she said, but she was like, we gotta do it, we gotta, like, she was super hyped up too when she dropped it off. I'm like, damn, okay, slay, fucking slay. I didn't want to say that in that moment, but I'm like, damn. Yeah. I'm like, let me drop off mine too. I'm like, is this where I put it? I'm like, okay. And I'm like, it was like nothing. Yeah, you could drop it off here. Like, it took me so much to do that, but then it was just such a simple step to do. You just drop it off and that's done. That's done for the day. That's all.
I saw this live with Snoop Dogg. I was like, Snoop Dogg's on a live right now. And then imagine I totally switched the conversation. No, Snoop Dogg was on the live with Gavin Newsom, and he was talking about how he voted for the first time. So that was
wait, Snoop Dogg was
Snoop Dogg, D-O-double-G.
D-O-double-G. This is his first time too? That's crazy.
I think he's like 40 something.
But he's older. He's
Shut the fuck up, bitch.
It's time to like know how to disagree with somebody. I think you know, because I think people are very like instilling of their ideas unto others.
Yeah.
And to learn how to have conversation, to spark conversation. You know, my whole thing is like I don't want to spread misinformation, which is why I kind of avoid talking about this type of thing. But in regards to talking to your friends about politics, it's great that
like even myself, I only knew a little stuff, but I mean I believe so strong in those stuff that I knew basically. Because then everybody has a limited amount of knowledge they know. Like even if you do get into politics, another person can have more information about you than you know. You know, so it's like. You still gotta stay strong to what you believe, but you can also change your mind, and then you learn something new, and then you get swayed into another opinion, right?
Right.
But,
I mean, in a way, you are risking the fact that you could be wrong in making this decision. I think that's probably the hardest part. If you are taking your approach and saying, I am voting because I believe in these issues for myself, and not because everyone else does.
Yeah, that's why I was basically going into it like without trying to be as non-biased as I can. But I mean, but everybody has their own bias, right? Everybody has their own belief system and something. So I was like, let me look. I looked through some websites to just look at the facts of like what would be the pro and con of this having this. But then that pro and con could be just for that per certain website, right? It could be different for another website. That's why I was like. But I had to stick to one because I'm like, I'm not going to look for a bunch of fucking websites saying pros and cons. So I'm like, okay, let me look at this one. And I'm like, oh, this one looks legit. I'm going to look through this. And I looked through a couple just to kind of compare, and they were sort of the same. So I'm like, okay, I'll just leave it as that. And I'll read it, and then I'll assess it. I'm like, okay, well, what do I think? And I'm like, well, if I were to like, if you were to throw that question right away, I'll be like, well, this is what I think, you know?
Right.
Yeah. And I took it as that. I didn't take it as like trying to think of the pros too much or the cons too much. It was more like a kind of a natural reaction to this kind of just going through it quick.
Gut feeling.
Yeah, gut feeling. So that's what I did with this one a little bit. It was like a mix. It was a gut feeling with a little bit more of like, I'm researching a little bit. Let me research a little bit.
That's interesting because, you know, well, you're researching because you want to avoid bias.
Yeah.
But going with your gut feeling is going with your biases.
But bias, yeah.
Right.
So it's like
you have you're going with the belief system that is already in place, while at the same time while researching. And so, what are you really doing?
Well, I was just trying to figure out like what I don't know about it.
Yeah.
Because like I know what my gut feeling is, but then I want like let me know something about it else.
Do you think you were trying to confirm your biases?
I don't know. It's more.
I mean, we all do that.
I guess so.
We all try to confirm our biases.
I don't know. It's not like confirming. It was more just trying to figure out what I don't know about. Maybe it is confirmation. Maybe confirmation of the bias. Yeah, trying to figure out if what you believe is true, right?
Let's say this. Did you have a position or already research it and change on any of those positions?
Yeah, so I did research. So I had what I initially did. I looked at the ballot and I was just looking at it straight up, and I decided on some of them already. And I'm like, okay, well, these are my decisions, but let me look up what are the pros and cons of this, or what have people said about this. So then I looked it up, and some of them still stay strong to my belief. Like I was like, they were like yes or no, whatever. And then some of them were changed my opinion a little bit. I'm like, oh shit, that's actually, let me think about this one now. You know, so there's other things to it. It seems simple right away when you ask the question. You're like, oh, this and that. You want to pick yes or no, but then there's so much to it. That's the thing. And that's tricky with this freaking election too.
So did you pick a? So my question was, did you have a position settled, and then do your research, and did any of those change?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, some of them kind of sway my opinion, and they change a little bit.
What do you mean by a little bit? Is it either?
Well,
it's not a yes or no.
No, because then some of them I'll be like, oh, like either a maybe. So I'll be like either. I couldn't decide whether a yes or no, and then some of them swayed. And then they changed my opinion to like right to a no or yes, and to a straight to a yes. Yeah. Okay. So it just switched my opinion a little bit, I would say. Or some of them actually, I think maybe one it just switched.
Well, when you say a little bit, is that just something? Is just that a word that you like to say, or is there a yes no? Is there a clear yes no?
Did I like to use a little bit?
No, you said it changed your mind a little bit, but you have to fully change your answer, or.
Yeah, so I fully changed it basically because I had initially I was stuck in between a yes or no in some of them. So then when I researched more, I was like, okay, now it's more of a no. And I would put that in my so I put in my notes, and I was like, yes, but now it's a no. I put that in my notes. I will say like a number, prompt 13, whatever, and I will say yes or to a no, and then or no to a yes.
Well, that's a good thing. I would say you went into it. Less biased than a lot of people do.
Jeremy describes what it's like to forget something mid-conversation.
If you're cooking something for the first time, right, and you go, this is my fucking idea, right? You don't know the whole recipe yet. You gotta put sugar, you gotta put salt, you gotta put a kiwi in there, you gotta put you gotta put some wild shit together.
You gotta put some more shit.
And then you finish, you taste it, and you go, this tastes fucking good. And then at the end of it, you go, what did I put in there again? That's what I'm talking about, right? You reach the end point, or not. Maybe it's not even at the end point. It's somewhere in the middle, and you forgot where you started. And you forgot what's the rest of the ingredients. That's I think a great conversationalist knows how to do that. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Can remember all those steps.
And you go, can you repeat that? And you go, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right.
I think I could do it sometimes when there's little to it, like on a smaller scale, like when it's just you're giving a couple. Because I will give instructions to students, so I'll just do a couple. Because if I give too many, and they're like, "Well, actually, I don't know how to do that. I don't get it still. Can you explain that again?" And I'll be like, "Well, fuck! I put too many instructions in there already. So let me shorten it out." And then I'm like, "Oh." And then if they need it again, if they ever need me to repeat it, then I'll like, "Oh, it's better if I use less instructions or give them less instructions in that moment." I think that helps. I think I'm better at that. Just in this short spurt of it, but not like full circle. When you're too far out, it's hard for me.
But I am an analyzer, and I think I need that skill in order to know what it is that I came to, like what my conclusion was. I think a lot of why part of why I started podcasting was, hey, at least if I'm going off on a riff, sort of like what I am doing now, I'm hoping there will be some gold there because let's say I'm trying to find the bit if it's comedy, and then if you're a freestyler and you freestyle and you go, fuck, that was good, I don't remember what I just fucking said. At least it's recorded. You know,
you listen to it back. Damn.
Right.
Yeah.
As a creative person that's trying to find the thing you're looking for, you need to keep track of it. How do you keep track of it? Please tell us. How do you keep track of that shit?
That's fucking great. You have to be so creative, but also very like. That's a hard one.
Right? Do you record all the time? Do you, as a freestyle rapper, do you rap at the same time while writing? What the fuck do you do?
Jeremy wants to be a rapper, that's why. He's lucky. This whole time, they want to be a filmmaker, a podcaster, want to be fucking rappers.
There are like 5 things that I want to be that I'm scared. I'm too scared to say that I want to be them.
What do you say?
Say them.
Jesus.
Say it.
Say it.
Say it.
I want to... Okay.
We might not even know this. And we're probably the closest people to you right now.
No, I think you guys know.
He wants to be a porn director.
No.
No, a porn star.
He wants to be a porn star. A gay porn star. What? Oh my god.
Yeah, I just haven't gotten gay yet, and that's the part that I'm working towards.
Okay. So that's your problem right now.
That's my
gay
problem.
Porn star, but you're not gay.
But
that's why I want to take shrooms and DMT so that I could open other portals up. Because
open up other holes. Yeah.
When my girlfriend asks,
other holes.
Because when my girlfriend asks, why don't you want to get your booty tickled? I want to say yes, but I can't. I don't know. Because somewhere in my...
Because you're open-minded.
Somewhere in my subconscious, I know that maybe I will want it. But I'm just not there yet. So I want to...
You're bi. I think you're...
Have you ever done this? Have you ever done this? You go, damn, like, could I be gay? And then so you sit down and you're like, let me not reject the idea. Let's do this thing right now.
Let's think about it.
Okay.
Well,
I never watched gay porn, but if I do, would I get hard? Okay. I'm not willing to do that.
We could do like an election right now. You could do like a little ballot. Would you get hard if you watch gay porn? And then we'll go on to the next question.
Okay.
Would you get hard if you watch gay porn?
I think
no or yes.
I think it'll go from flaccid to
more flaccid
to inverted.
You become a woman somehow?
No. This is what I really think. This is what I really think. That'd be funny. What I really think is I would psychologically think about it to a point where I would get a chub. And then I would think I would get soft again after I was done thinking. When I would be...
Because you're nervous or something?
Yeah, I think I would like, oh damn, like what if I really do get hard and that would get me hard? You know, I don't think the actual act of it would get me hard. But
just thinking about getting hard,
right? And I don't think it's like it's not the curious. And when I say this, I want to be clear. It's not the curious. I'm not being curious that I like dick, right? I'm curious about. I guess like I'm curious about.
Inserting you or like?
No. I'm curious about.
We're being so mature.
I'm like.
No giggly and shit.
I guess I'm curious about why I haven't thought about it. Does that make sense?
I mean, it just doesn't happen.
I know, but it's like a
Mm-hmm.
thing that you can think about, and you shouldn't reject thinking about it.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's why I think about it sometimes. And so, what's the next question down the ballot?
On the ballot, let's take a look. Would you ever let a man touch your private part? Yes or no?
Let a man touch my private parts. Like if I really think about it and I close my eyes, what's the difference between a man hand and a girl hand? If you close your eyes, if they both start lotioning from the age of 12, both silky smooth,
the same playing field.
I might go this girl's hand's a little big, right? But I can't say that I know. If I close my eyes, I don't think I would tell the difference. And I think it's the same with blowjobs. I can't. The inside of a girl's mouth and the inside of a guy's mouth, what's the fucking difference?
You might be able to feel like that they have facial hair.
Yeah, but I don't have facial hair.
Depending on the clean shave though. If they're clean shave, you can't tell.
If I shave my mustache really good, you know.
I think like the only difference you could tell maybe if a guy has a bigger like opening to the mouth, but we don't know. Yeah. I don't know the science behind
I guess if your eyes are closed, it would be hard to tell. Maybe the hands, I feel like, is easier to tell.
It's like even the vice versa for a girl. Like if a guy were to go down on a girl, but then if a girl went down on the same girl, like can she even tell who gave?
I think the easiest way to find out is to start deep throating them, and then they would gag, and you'd hear a bit of the man voice.
Oh my god.
I don't know what the situation is right now, but if you're ever in that situation and you want to find out, try that.
You put it in there really quick.
Yeah, if your hands are tied behind your back, give a good thrust.
That's the only way to find.
Yeah.
I would never want to be put in that position where I don't know who's giving me the blowjob.
And I think that's like me overanalyzing it for no reason, but I think
that's a good question for sure.
Right? I think that's just a part of my being that is always gonna be me, and I think it fucks me up sometimes. I think about things that don't matter too much.
Oh, I thought fucked you up, like, you don't know if you're gay or not. I'm like, well, then, if it's really on your mind, you're gay. You're gay. You're gay as fuck, basically. No, you're gay, but you're gay.
Speaking of, your girlfriend brought up the fact that maybe you're bi. Why? I forget how that conversation came up.
Wait, what?
Is that something you're not willing to talk about?
No, I want to talk about it. Yeah.
Okay, we're the Primal Primos.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know about this.
No, it's just funny.
Beautiful.
Well,
let's talk about it.
She's starting to get to know more, my personality and like my things, my open-mindedness, I guess. Things basically.
Your flexible pinky finger.
My hand motions and all that.
You're literally just now.
But
the way you twerk in front of your guy friends.
Oh, is that what sparked the thought?
I don't know. Everything's coming together.
You guys
all the things I do are very.
Wait, you posted it on the stories.
It was before that.
Even then, yeah. Well, I mean, all the things that I do are very kind of girly-ish at times.
How's the drink, by the way?
It's pretty good.
You like it?
The whole thing, yeah. It's
okay.
It's chocolate, so thank you for a recommendation.
Cool.
It just tastes like chocolate.
A forceful recommendation.
It's like horchata, like chocolate. I don't know. It's like a dense kind of drink. It's not like super soft. Yeah.
Quick question though. I've been watching Korean shit lately, like Korean dramas, and they eat about 6 times an episode. I'm like, what the fuck is up with that?
And it's supposed to be one day?
One episode.
Man,
is it one day?
But it's not one day.
I don't think so. It's just like a regular TV show. It's just like a regular sitcom or not
like
sitcom.
2 days, 3.
Yeah, does it fit the purpose of the story ever? It's just.
Well, I do think they're promoting the restaurant.
Oh, there we go. Okay. There's your answer.
But also,
well, there's your answer.
But also, American TV shows don't do that as often. They don't eat 7 times an episode.
They rarely eat, actually.
I'm thinking because of budget. You don't want to put so much food into the episode, and you have your actors.
What is
spit it out.
Isn't it a thing like Koreans have a lot of mukbang channels? Mukbang is Korean.
And I wonder if that's where it came from. The Korean dramas.
It's a cultural thing to eat on camera.
And maybe it's because
that's where it first started.
Maybe it's because every time I watch a Korean drama with my mom, she's like, "Oh my god, they're eating blah blah blah. We need to eat blah blah blah."
Oh, she says that.
Yeah. She's like, "Oh my gosh, you're always eating jjajangmyeon." It's like a black bean noodle. Why are they always eating jjajangmyeon? I want jjajangmyeon now. And I think that maybe breeded mukbang culture. I don't know.
But it could create a sense of like you're there with them, right? That's when you eat with someone, right? You usually eat with friends.
Yeah, I be watching Korean media so much, and there are these like very like I watched these shows as a kid, and they're like there's one speaker's like they go to these like maybe it's like the countryside, and it's like he's like, hey, here's some guy cooking his own shit, and then there's like he's talking in front of the camera like, oh, I put the fucking thing in there, and I put the mushrooms, and I picked the fucking mushrooms myself. They put the zoom in, camera quality's not even that good, but somehow it's bubbling and it looks really good. Put text and images on screen, and then there's like and there's these sounds like ooh, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm just watching this again after so many years and going, this is strange, like how they're gonna have this forever.
역시 닭발은 모닝 닭발이죠.
모당. Let me set the scene. So we went to a restaurant called BJ's. Nothing related to the story. I guess it kind of add some humor to it.
And it was your second time or something you said.
It was. So yeah, we went there once. I saw this one guy. In my head, I'm like, oh, this is a good-looking dude. Didn't think much of it too at that time around. And we ate there, and then we left, right? And we went there the second time, maybe a couple weeks after.
And he gave you your second BJ.
And I went there to get my second BJ's ever. I like that. And then I saw him again. He was the host. So he had to sit us down, and I saw him again. I'm like, oh, this guy is, good-looking dude again. I'm like, you can just tell there's a good-looking dude if you pass by a good-looking dude. And
you vocalize this to your partner.
So this will happen. Yeah, like after that happened, like I said, it maybe like I don't know what it was, through like a call or like I saw in person. I told my girlfriend, I'm like, oh, do you remember that one guy who was like, I think it was the host. He was sitting us down. Do you remember him? He was kind of a good-looking dude, right? And she was like, what? Like. I'm like, yeah, he's a good-looking dude. Like you could tell when there's a good looking dude. When if he's ugly, you could tell he's ugly.
Agreed.
And then she was like, she wasn't with. I guess she couldn't understand that. It wasn't going through her head.
Let's play back the literal facial expression she had on her face right now.
It was like gross.
Nah, she didn't do that face. I don't think it was more like.
Let's do the real.
She was like this. She was. I think she was going like. She was actually being playful. If anything, she was more
really.
Like, she was like, I know my boyfriend likes some guys, and I'm like, and then I got like flustered, or I don't even. I got nervous. I'm like, no, you're getting it wrong.
Did you get red?
I don't know if I got it right. It's more just like, hold up. Like, I'm not gay. I told her like, not like. And then she was, and it's one of those things where they look at you and you get more nervous. You're like, I'm not gay, and they're like, they just look at you. They're like, and I'm like, hey, I'm not gay, and then you start saying random shit.
Let me give you a tip.
Yeah.
Never say I'm not gay until they bring up, are you gay? Because then you already lost the game.
Yeah.
You did it to yourself.
And then she's thinking like I'm saying the wrong stuff basically.
Pro tip.
Pro tip. So I went into it like that. So then she got me like nervous, and I'm like, I'm like, oh, hold up, let me set it down for you. Like, if I see Cristiano Ronaldo, the most sexiest soccer player out there in the world, if I saw him in person, or I even told her,
I would let him hit it from the back.
If he has to,
If he has to,
I can't let him.
Whatever he has to do to win.
Yeah, I mean, if he's playing in the finals and the only chance to like make the team win is he has to fucking in the ass, he's Cristiano Ronaldo.
You would do it.
Yeah. But no, I don't think I'll do that. I still won't do it.
You wouldn't do it for the country?
Hell no,
Dude.
What would I get in return?
But he's not even. Where is he from?
Well, he's Portuguese. He's Portuguese from Portugal.
He's not from.
But who does he play for? He doesn't play for America?
No, he plays for like a European team.
Yeah,
Real Madrid. Well, not Real Madrid. I forgot what team he played. Yeah.
I'm stupid.
Is it Barcelona? No,
No,
that's the other guy.
Juventus or something. He plays for some other team now. But besides the point, I mean, I even told I told her like Brad Pitt. I was like, Brad Pitt's an amazing actor. Like, I'll be mind blown if I see him in person. And he's a good looking dude. That just adds another thing to it. So of course he's like this guy. This basically I told her it's competition in a way. When I see a guy and he's good looking, I'm like, fuck, he's better looking than I am. I'm like, fuck, like how does he get that good looking? You know what I mean? It's got one of those.
How does he get that?
Yeah. What do you do? Is he working out?
He has a maid that's sculpting him every morning.
Yeah. What did God do to you that He didn't do to me? You know, it's kind of like one of those. Right. But it's a competition kind of thing between the guy when you see another good-looking dude.
Right.
That's at least for me, when I see another good-looking dude.
So what you're saying is, you said that guy was good-looking, and you vocalized that to her because you were
he was attractive. I think
jealous.
Oh, it's hella funny because I said he was attractive. And then I guess we were looking up what is bisexual, like the term bisexual, and it was like...
At the dinner?
No, it's just, I think... it was through FaceTime. I remember it was in FaceTime. It was after the whole incident, basically. Okay. And I looked it up. I'm like, I'll look it up for you. Don't worry. Let me look up bipolar. And I'm reading
said bipolar.
Oh, not bipolar. We're talking about bipolar. Bisexual. And I looked it up. And then, because I said the attraction part, and it said attracted to the opposite sex or something like that. And I'm like, fuck, I can't say that. Because she's going to be, it's basically the literal definition.
But you didn't think you weren't.
It was an attraction for sure. If you're looking at another fool, well, it's just like
it's different. Being someone is attractive and being attracted to them.
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh, okay. There's two of them.
You know what I mean?
I think it was attractive.
Because attracted to someone is like you would hook up.
Right.
But thinking someone is attractive doesn't mean you would do it with them.
Yeah, different.
Okay, so I'm going for that one, I think. No, for sure that one. Because I'm looking at him like, oh, he's attractive. Well, then that's the thing about attractive. Like, something is attracting you to that.
Grammar.
Right?
But he could also be like
you know what I mean?
Like a model, right? Like,
yeah, like the beauty standard. You recognize the beauty standard, and he meets it.
He meets,
right? That's what you're saying when you say someone's attractive.
Yes.
You're not saying I am attracted to that person, right?
But I was attracted to that look. So I mean, he's a person, so I guess I'm attracted to the person, right?
Not if you recognize that he met a beauty standard. Look, I could be attracted to an ugly person that doesn't meet the beauty standard because there's something in them that I want to, insert myself into. You know, there's something there. Maybe it's their energy, maybe it's their skin tone, maybe it's their nails, it's their bubbly energy. No, it's not always. Beauty is not the only.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like you could, yeah, it's not. It doesn't have to be about beauty. It could be there's something attracting you to it. It could be like just like you're saying like the nails, just the colors like attracting you to go there, right? Something like that,
right?
And I think it applies the same way. If you're attracted or it was attractive at that moment, you're still going towards that thing, right? Wouldn't that kind of still be the same?
It depends if you're sexually attracted to them.
Yeah,
or there's another thing.
Have that extra word in there.
Right?
That's when we're a different word because the same is attractive as attractive.
Or are you,
know what I mean?
attracted in qualities such as, wow, we're vibing right now. We could be great friends, or even or are you thinking he has a strong ass jawline? God damn, look at them lips. I kind of want to put them in mine. That's different.
That's some more, that's that sexual attraction. And I think this was more just a regular attraction. Something that brought me to his visual aesthetic, I guess.
Or we have to go on break.
You know what I mean?
Guys.
That's the...
We have to go on break.
Oh, right.
Better, yeah. We'll look up bisexual for you.
Look up bisexual, K-Rod. Let's
Whoa, real life sounds so different.
Do you think spider women would also shoot web out of her wrist? Find out to see what other holes she could shoot from.
Mood?
Okay, mood. Damn, she's...
That was like a...
Yeah, Spider-Man.
That's like some...
And we're back.
I like to make references that no one understands, so let me pay homage to Rick Glassman here. And in the edit, it switches.
Whoa.
And I'm wearing glasses.
I should have worn glasses too.
Oh shit. You want to do it again?
Hey, what's up?
Take your shoes off. Okay.
Wait, what? I don't know that reference either. I don't know it.
So, what happened was...
Way too dark.
2/3 of the Primal Primos went to take a piss. First one was a producer, K-Rod. And what happened was I heard a shh for the first 3 seconds. And then we started having a conversation about what if Spider Girl shot out of her pussy? Like if there was a Spider Girl. Let me demonstrate. So say she's trying to...
Can the camera see you?
Say she's trying to go to the one building to the next building, and she would shoot this web out of her vagina. So she would
thrust
like that. And that was
Well, that hurt.
Why would only Spider Girl shoot out of her vagina but not Spider Man?
That was what we were saying.
Well, I think Spider Girl. I think there's more space in a vagina than
No, but
people.
Spider Man has like a nice perfect hole.
For the penis, right? We're thinking that too in a second.
What do you mean?
He has
Spider-Man
a
has
hole,
a
like
perfect hole.
If you're erect, I guess
you get more direction.
you're more that direct. Yeah.
No, we're talking through like.
No, but like if a Spider-Man shoots out webs out
His
of his penis, it's easier for him to shoot in a direction.
Maybe.
That's true.
But then he
Like
has to
how
be
would a
hard.
female do it? It would just be like
Straight.
it would go on the floor.
You have to be hard all the time.
Think of your pelvis.
I'm just saying it doesn't make sense.
I think it makes sense. I think this is why it makes sense.
I think she tosses herself in the air.
So
No. This is why it makes sense.
Fingers is better.
This is why it makes sense. I think the
Or does
Spider-Man.
it from here?
I think the Spider-Man from their hands doesn't make that much sense because of the fact that you have to flex when you're being pulled in. So if I shoot it at all the stress is going to reach my arm, whereas if it shoots through the pelvis area, here's my center of gravity, right? My center of gravity is being pulled so that all of my hands are ready to catch, whereas if I'm shooting, then I gotta let go, and then there's a lot of stress on my arm. Whereas I think if you were to shoot out of your pelvis, that's where your center of gravity will way better.
But he's also Spider-Man, so he has Spider-Man like abilities.
Sure, but even then, I think
so his hand is not going to be stressed.
I would argue that if you're fighting bad guys that have superpowers,
that's a superpower. He's a spider. He can jump through walls.
He's light.
Yes, but I'm critiquing that if Spider-Man were to evolve, maybe he would shoot out of his dick. But here's why. Here's why
I think it's better.
I think it's better.
I think shooting out of your hands is better than
Maybe like your fist.
I disagree because your hands might want to punch a bad guy, right? If you go boom and you
No,
go,
he uses
boom.
his legs.
What about your mouth? Goes out your
He uses his legs. He hangs off the web,
Is
right?
that gay?
No,
He
but
hang off a web and then kick.
Mm-hmm.
he could
Is that what I'm
kick. He could
saying?
kick, but he can't punch. You know, you want as
Right,
many
but-
tools as possible.
And we could do through his feet.
I think legs
Toes?
are stronger,
The toes?
right? Legs are stronger.
Where does it come out?
You know, here's the thing about fighting
It just
is
seems not logical to like shoot from your private area.
It's not as efficient as it could be.
I think
for both female and male.
no, I think
But I think with the girl that
you don't understand my point
I
about
like
the
it.
center
No,
of gravity.
I like that one because then. But
Girl
I
is
think it'll be
even
hard.
less efficient.
At least be.
Explain.
For one, like we cannot aim to pee, so
Aim
how are
your
we gonna
pelvis.
aim to shoot a fucking web?
Or this is what I'm thinking you could do. You could.
That's why you're super.
You could toss yourself in the
Spider-Man,
fucking air,
Spider-Woman.
and then all you get fucking.
What about
Shot
your
in
mouth?
there.
It'd be better to
You do
shoot out of
that.
your mouth.
Here's why I don't go
That's
with
what I'm
the
saying.
mouth. Here's the reason.
Yeah, that's better. If he evolved, it would be out of his mouth.
Here's why I disagree with that.
Yeah, like,
You'll get whiplash.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Yeah, you get whiplash.
But I mean,
I think it's a good idea,
Mhm.
but I don't think it'll work. You can't get
Depending-
whiplash from your pelvis.
depending
right?
if you're like, I mean, if you have Spider-Man abilities, would it hurt when you get whiplash? I mean, because that's what you were saying earlier. If you're shooting from your arms, you have Spider-Man abilities, so it's not gonna hurt. You know what I mean? So it's maybe the same. You could say the same with the whiplash, maybe.
But
I don't know.
but even so, I think you'll probably there's a weird weight situation where gravity works on everybody the same. Where if it goes and it pulls you, you'll your body will probably tip from the foot forward or the foot back.
But how does she have to be if she's like standing in front of this wall to get on this wall?
That's what I'm saying. Like, imagine
So,
she's on her.
All she has to do is forward pelvic tilt and then shoot.
But it's still gonna shoot a little bit down. I think,
You think
the best way is just
Yeah, it's still gonna shoot
fucking
out.
tossing herself, just jumping up, and then midway, about the moment when she's about to fall,
You
then
guys
spread it out.
really
Her
not.
asshole would be better.
Her ass.
I
No,
was-
but then her asshole's-
I was about to say you guys are really taking the fun out of this, but that's a fun one.
An asshole's way better.
Imagine this.
Well,
you
it's
gotta take that shit at the same
backwards,
time.
you know. I mean,
But
you can
isn't
only
that
go
how
backwards.
spiders like shoot from like their back?
Oh, that is true.
Right?
That's that's where they start.
I think that's where you see it coming out. We might be wrong, but I feel like that makes sense to
It
me.
looks from their asshole. Looks like there's coming.
Yeah, you just get on all fours, right? And then like, ding.
I guess, yeah. If you want to go
I'm like
up,
imagining myself in the wall.
if your goal is to go up, you could get on all fours and shoot out of your asshole. Yes.
What else can you think of? Other spots? Eyes? I know you'll be blinded.
Yeah.
That's the worst spot.
I think somewhere in the pelvis area,
Pelvis?
belly button would probably be the best idea. But why it wouldn't work for the dick hole? That's where I wanted to go to.
I think dick hole is better than the vagina.
Now I have a.
dick hole maybe. It'll hurt once you land on that spot.
You ever like, you know?
But then
Spank
like,
the monkey?
that's like
Twirl the band.
Yeah. You ever shake one out and then you go to bed, right? And then you wake up and you take a piss and the piss don't really come out like the same.
It comes like with piss and a little bit of cum, like together. Like,
Well, the cum kind of crystallizes and it blocks the passageway a little, and the pee sprays
Oh
in
my
two different
God.
directions. That never happened to you?
I clean it pretty well before I go to sleep.
that means you don't clean
I
it.
was like, it's dry, so then once you take out the piss, it breaks that barrier of the dry cum.
Sort of,
basically.
right?
That's what I'm getting at.
Does that never happen to you?
I don't know.
This is
Maybe
a
it has
problem?
a couple times. Maybe it hasn't happened too much that I can't think about it. But yeah, I think maybe it has happened a couple times. But it's rare because then.
And I was gonna say that Spider-Man. Just think about how thick the web is compared to
It'll
cum.
hurt.
It'll be way.
Mhm.
The residue, I think, would fuck up the pissing situation.
But that's just the same for the woman. We get infections with any little fucking thing.
Maybe we need maybe there needs to be
I think
another
nipples.
hole.
Nipples. I mean, girls have the holes in the nipples, right? So then, but the guys don't have it, but the girls
Yeah.
can. Because,
Well, they only have
And
holes
it's the
in
best
nipples
place,
when
actually.
They become pregnant.
but okay, so there's a spider woman who's pregnant. She has to become pregnant,
Just
basically.
to become pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the best position. Think about it, because if you shoot for your nipples and you land on your hands, you can land on your feet. It's the best, safest position too. Think about it.
We've just created the Japanese equivalent of
This is like
Spider-Man.
a porn Spider-Woman.
But fan
We've
fiction.
created the new parody anime that could make millions.
What is that one where it is like anime porn? What's it called?
Hentai?
Hentai?
Hentai.
This is like a hentai,
This is
right?
like fan fiction.
Fucking
like
spider
that.
webs coming out of her ass, pussy, and
Damn.
boobs.
I
Like,
never heard you say that all together, K-Rod, but
that's what we're talking about.
no, keep it going. No,
You've
keep it
had
going.
one too many to drink.
Too many
I
games
have
about it.
had 0.
You've had boba, and I don't know what's in it right now.
She slipped in a little tequila.
You're the one that brought up the vagina idea.
And you're all about it.
No, I'm against it actually. I don't think it's very possible.
But it's bringing the conversation out of you, and I mean, that's a good thing, right?
We're having another debate. There's a whole fucking
A
debate.
debate within a debate.
If I just thought of a fun caption. If I was a hot girl and I voted on my titties, my caption would be my caption would be, you know what I'm talking about? Those stickers.
Like-
I actually
Yeah, I
saw a girl just post with an I voted sticker on her ass.
There we go.
She put it in her ass? Her
Yeah.
asshole or
There
ass?
we go.
Ass.
Oh.
She was wearing like a thong and it was just on her ass.
You put a sticker. You want it?
This is
I
my
forgot to bring it. I was gonna bring it, but I forgot it.
my caption would be, so imagine I'm naked, right?
Girl,
Girl Jeremy.
Girl Jeremy.
You know,
I'm like,
just like this, right? And
Okay.
then crossed legs maybe.
Ooh,
And I go.
Are you a thick girl? Are you? I'm trying to imagine. How do you look like?
I think I got an ass. I think
But you don't have titties. What about titties? You think you'll have titties? But
probably
you're more of that the thick bottom.
It is weird to say, but I have
I think you'll be that thick perky bottom.
girl family members that maybe have a little. I might edit that out.
Boobs.
Boobs.
You think you have? Oh wait, will they be decent size, small?
Probably
Probably
like average,
like
I
a
think.
B plus. I don't think I'll have a C.
Teeny
Or,
bit, but is it where you could grab a little bit?
B is like average, I think.
B is average. Okay.
Right?
I think so, right? I don't know. What's the average nowadays? I don't know what the average is.
I would guess.
I would
It's
guess
like
average.
B, C. Is
Between B and
average.
C, I think.
Yeah.
Between B and C. I think A is small, too small.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready? Spread conversation, not misinformation.
And they.
That'll be your
Oh, it's
slogan?
a video.
Oh, it's a slogan. It's a
No,
propaganda.
I'm just saying my caption. That would be my
And
caption.
then on your ass it would say like Biden, Harris, Biden.
Exactly.
Harris.
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't forget to vote. Already telling you who to vote for.
We painted on there. Damn, that's hot.
That's one way to do it, right? I think it works.
It
I
gets
thi-
people's attention, and I think that's why some of those girls do it, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen them
Yeah.
actually this time around. Or maybe I
I
haven't
saw.
got on
I literally
Instagram.
was scrolling right now, and I
How
saw
did you
one.
get? How did you get that idea?
You want to follow?
Yeah, hold on.
That person.
I didn't see. Oh, send me the link.
You haven't seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
I've seen
It's a
20
famous
of those.
person that posted. It's not just a random girl. It's a famous
Oh.
person.
I haven't seen. Maybe I haven't gone on Instagram on the feed and seen like on the explore page. I haven't seen anything like that. Maybe I haven't gone on it too much.
Yeah.
Mm.
Back to you being gay.
But back to
Or bisexual.
Bisexual, sorry.
bisexual.
Attraction. So you said
Attraction.
you were attracted to his physical features.
Yes, he was an attractive guy. He was pretty tall. I'm like slim. I told her, yeah, he's a slim looking dude. He looks like he kind of works out a little bit.
Oh.
And he has a nice face. He has nice hair. And I'm like, fuck. So
Do
I'm
you
like,
think is it because part of you wants to be like him?
it's like that's what I'm saying. There's a competitive side of that. Like you're
Valid.
trying to be a better version.
But you
better version.
enjoyed talking with him.
I didn't talk. I only ever said a couple stuff, but I didn't really enjoy
You
talking
enjoy
process.
talking
'cause
about him.
talking about him is fun, yeah.
But didn't you say that he would? She said that
Oh,
he was flirting.
No,
with
there's
you.
another. There's more to that.
That's a different guy.
This
or
is,
same
this is
guy?
a different guy. He's our waiter.
You
so this
gay.
will happen.
Do you want to? He might have
You gay, bitch.
He might have gay energy, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
But
I
do
think
you want
I
to
do.
hear the definition?
Armando,
of-
right?
Yeah.
I think I do
And
have
I
gay
think
energy.
you've
Yeah.
told him this.
I think I have.
Have I?
I have been
Because
friendly.
we've seen it
yeah.
with a friend. I don't know if you want to say his name. Probably not.
Oh yeah, Michael.
We've noticed it with a friend.
But I think I do, yeah, come off. Well, it's just friendly. I was telling my girl, I'm like, I think it was very friendly, and that's they think I'm
I mean,
trying to hit at them. And there was a waiter there at BJ's too, and he was very friendly
the
with
same place?
us. Yeah, the same place. So it's not the host. I barely talked to the host, but the waiter, he came by. He looked like, I thought he looked like a regular straight dude because he had a lot of tattoos. He had like piercings, and he came up to us with the most softest energy. He's like, "Oh, like what do you guys know?"
The opposite of what you
So
thought.
I was like, "Oh shit, this guy fucking looks like a biker, dude." I'm like, "Fuck," and he comes up. So how you guys doing tonight? Very lovely and this, but I didn't think he was gay at that moment, or I didn't think anything of it. I was like, "Oh, he's just seems like a cool dude." And I was like,
he probably fucks really slow.
yes,
Oh
Just like really good at the body wave and shit.
yeah. So he was just talking to us the most of the time, and like he was talking to me. He looked like he didn't even look at my girl, and then also her sisters were there, younger sisters, and it looked like he was just really kind of focused on me. I didn't know that at first until I actually realized it, until my girl saw, or she was like saying like, "Oh, yo, like he was actually kind of eyeing you. He was talking to you. He was being a little friendly." And I'm like, "No, what do you mean? Like, I didn't notice anything." And then she was asking her sister like, "Did you see that too?" And they're like, "No." But the second time around, the third time around, they noticed him more, and they're like, "Yeah, he's being very friendly with you, Armando." And I'm like, I'm still.
Doesn't that tend to happen as a waiter, Jeremy, when you pick one person at the table that you like?
I think so.
Oh, is that weird thing?
You were that one
yeah.
person that like.
Thanks for bringing that up. I think it generally happens from the person that gives you the most eye contact. That's the person I talk to.
There's always a leader at the table. It seems like.
Yeah. Like say like there's 7 people in a table and you're taking an order or you need an update. There's one person that's always gonna speak for the rest, right?
That is true.
And that's the person I connect and talk to. It's the easiest, right?
I don't like being that guy, the one who in the group like saying the orders. I'm like, someone do it. Like,
I say it.
You know what I mean? You say it the first person.
I say it because I don't want them to, sending eye signals and not getting anything back. So there's this word in Korean is nunchi, and it sort of means like feeling the eyes, or like
it's like
you're like attentive.
Or you're bringing that person with, like the waiter's kind of there to host you.
It's
guys,
like
you're
like catching the vibe. It's nunchi. So it's like you have good
catching the vibe.
If you have good nunchi,
I like your nunchi.
Yeah, it's like if you
I don't know,
no, it's ability.
That's kind of sexual.
It's an ability. Nunchi is an ability. So if you have good nunchi, it means you pick up on things fast. And so I want to be the person that picks up on somebody's signals. And if no one's getting it, I'm gonna get it. And it makes them feel more at ease.
Okay. And I guess that's from coming from like waiting, and you know that, so you kind of, it's a developed skill, or now you know the skill. I didn't think about that, but I doubt. I think that plays a factor, but still, even then, I think you.
What about this? I'm intimidated by women, particularly beautiful women. Right? Would you say your girlfriend's beautiful?
She's very beautiful.
I
have to say that for
were
sure.
Her sisters?
It was a trick question. Yeah.
Were her sisters there?
Her younger sisters, they're like they're in high school. They're very young.
So maybe he felt beautiful energy. Maybe he was intimidated by beautiful energy, right? Or that's one alternative. Another alternative.
Oh, you told me that. Yeah.
Right. Another alternative is there's a possibility that I forgot what I was gonna say.
I like how it sounded so real. It sounded like you were really gonna go at it, but I
just lost it. I just lost it,
bruh.
That happens. I mean, what was it? So I said the intimidating thing.
Well, Miss saying he was intimidated by the girls. There's the two possibilities. Okay.
Here's the other one. I don't do this with everyone, but I have I have some friends that I like to joke around with, and maybe you might be one of them, but sometimes you don't keep up because you break into laughter, and it's but I do this sort of, me and my friend do a joke thing, and we perform in front of others, right? So it's a me and him, but we know we're doing it for other people, right? So we're joking back and forth, going boom, 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 ha 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 ha, see if they laugh, and our whole goal is to make them laugh. Right, so he may have a different goal, but maybe he has a goal of, I'm gonna leave a good impression on these ladies with us having this bromance moment. Right,
that's another situation that could have happened.
He also wants a good tip.
And the main reason he wanted a fucking tip. He wanted a good tip.
Right?
He's a waiter.
You're entertaining. No matter the sex, where you're from, wherever.
Like he wants to feel important.
Yeah, he wants to get that fat tip.
Now
I don't know what kind of tip he wanted.
He's, assuming you're gonna pay or something. Yeah. So he's focusing it on you.
Ooh. You want to
That's true.
Right?
Mm-hmm. He saw that I had the money maybe.
Yeah.
He's like,
I mean, were you wearing that shirt? Because if you were wearing that shirt, you got the money.
You got
What was I wearing? I don't know. No, it was a bummy shirt. I looked like a farmer that day. I looked like a farmer.
So you were like the ugly friend that made it was easier to connect with an ugly person.
I wasn't ugly out of the whole group. How could I be? Well, maybe I was the bummiest looking one out of all of us, for sure.
Now, if he left his number on the receipt, that would have been a different story.
That would have been a whole different story.
Right.
That would have phoned me for sure. But
so,
I mean, I told my girl that at one point he touched me in the arm, like while you weren't looking.
What kind of a touch? Demonstrate.
He went like this. I was like this. He touched me like this.
Oh,
so I even showed her after like we left. I was like, he touched me like this, and
okay.
But I didn't know at the moment because we were talking back and forth really fast. And
second question: pretend to talk like him and do the hand motions. So I'll talk and then you just do the hand motion. So the other day I was in the bathroom and my shower flooded. And I don't even wash my feet in general, but like that now I really don't wash my feet. So he talks like that.
There we go. He did that little thing. I didn't catch that cue. I was just like, oh, that's a cool little hand motion.
Okay.
Yeah, so
cool hand motion.
Yeah.
So he talks like that and he touches like that.
Well, he didn't touch me at all. He never touched me.
With your hands.
Yeah, and I talk with my hands. So maybe we were both like fucking doing the whole.
Let's say he did get out. He is gay and he was actually attracted to you.
Yeah.
Would you say that the vibe of the table where it's like your girlfriend and all her sisters and then just one dude, maybe says like, "Oh, girls going out," kind of vibe. Like you're the gay best friend that's with all his girlfriends.
Maybe that's what I was also.
Like he didn't realize you were dating one of them.
That's also saying to her, but I think I won't.
Right, because you and your girlfriend look alike sometimes.
Hold on. Well,
you guys could be siblings.
A little bit.
The whole time.
You guys do a little bit.
I think
this has been brought up before. You guys have talked about.
I think it's a smile.
Talk about it.
No, you guys just do resemble each other a tiny bit. I think it's just like the eyes. I think it's the eyes.
I think it's a smile.
The
so
smile.
you think it's the top face, I think it's the bottom face.
Yeah,
so it's the whole
smile.
face.
So it's the whole face.
Okay, we do not look alike. That would.
Maybe it could be just the way you guys smile in photos.
Yeah.
That's what I noticed is when you were.
I would say we kind of have the same smile, but other than that, I don't see anything else. And she's a lot more lighter than I am too, in skin color zone. And yeah, her whole facial, nothing is alike. I'm always looking at the smile. I'm like, oh.
I think it's a smile.
Yeah, it might just be the smile that I can see.
And you guys smile together in photos often, so maybe that's why.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say something, but
so you think you're gay?
No.
Bisexual?
But well, let me just finish off this little part. I guess so I told her, yeah, he touched me, this and that. She was like, oh, like what? She got mad. She was like, what the hell? That's my freaking boyfriend. Like you're my boyfriend. Like that's very disrespectful. And I'm like, I don't know.
What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, what are you gonna do about it? Okay, what you gonna do? I'm here like I tell her the story and I smile away from it. I'm like it's all my plan. I'm like, what you gonna do about it? I smile. She's over there ready to fucking.
Can I just make a slight comment in case your girlfriend's watching this? I'm wearing your underwear, bro.
Those are actually your underwear, and I wore them many times.
These are mine? Oh, so we're just.
We just switch them off. We just go back and forth.
Have you ever thought?
And you gave them back?
I gave them back. I don't know. Well,
I was sleeping over once, and you let me borrow an underwear.
Why did he let you borrow underwear?
She had his pants.
Why did you let me borrow my underwear? It was a weird. What were you doing that day?
Is that the haircut?
Haircut, maybe.
Oh yeah,
haircut.
I got a haircut.
Oh, I got a
So
haircut.
I believe
That's why.
You took a shower.
You had pokey hair, maybe.
So I just switched the hair. Underwear. Yep.
You know what's weird though that I thought about? It's a weird thought. Your dick probably molded a shape into this, right?
No.
Into this underwear.
When you wash it, it gets off.
Not true.
No?
Not true.
No, I don't think so. Well, I don't know actually. Maybe.
And then my dick probably made a print on this underwear. So now we have a fused dick.
Was there a big bulge?
I don't know. I'd have to check, but there's two.
Really
Your bulge plus my bulge made a new bulge. I don't know how I feel about that.
It sounded like you liked it though.
I do like the fact
He was
that
getting all excited. He's like, my dick and your dick made like a mold.
yes, I'm excited.
We're bisexual.
Now Jerry's bisexual too.
Who's bisexual?
I'm excited that I came to that conclusion.
You dug yourself into that shit. We go in that gay hole right there.
In that gay hole?
Yeah.
We haven't gone into the gay hole
we
yet.
The bi-primos.
The bi-primos?
The bi-primos? Jesus. Oh, damn. That's actually funny because it's like, it's like a taboo kind of thing, yeah, too. It's already a taboo, regular primos, you know, like it's cousins.
What about the primal bimos?
But primal bimos? Primal bimos? Wait, bimos?
Primos. The primal?
I just said primal. Oh, primal.
It's a little bit of a tongue twister. Primal bimos.
Primal bimos.
Something about it, right?
Bimos?
Something's there. I don't quite like it just yet.
You don't like it? Because there's no R. You like the R in there.
I don't know. I think it's I used to the primos already. So I can't change it.
Bimos. Because it's primos. So it's primal bimos. So that doesn't sound as good.
It sounds like beans or something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, bimos, but it doesn't work.
But yeah, back to if I'm gay or not. No.
Want to hear the definition?
Yes.
Oh yeah, so then go ahead. I think that's what I looked up, and when I was telling her, like, I'll look it up for you. I'm not. That's not what it is. She was telling me like this. That's what bisexual means, and I'm like, hold on, let me look it up. And I looked it up, and I'm like, oh fuck. I basically told her the definition myself that I'm bisexual.
Well, I think it's from what I can read, I think it's a little different because you're just saying attraction. Right?
Yeah, and then she also
a physical attraction.
Let me read it. It says bisexuality is romantic attraction, sexual attraction, or sexual behavior towards both males and females.
Right. So it generally has to do with the key word I'm hearing is
romantic
sexual.
and sexual. Romantic. So it means you either see yourself in a relationship with them or in a sexual relationship with them.
That's it. At the end, we were kind of concluding on that, me and my girl, but she was just playing her. She was trying to get me to say some stuff. You? Yeah, she was teasing me, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And she still teases me to this day.
Yeah. There's also a weird thing, like you said, the competition thing, which led me to start thinking about how girls in particular sometimes there's this one movie called what's it called? The Ugly Friend or something?
Oh, like the Dove? The Dove?
It's like
basically it's kind of
it's like the designated ugly friend of the group.
Oh, Dove.
It's Dove. The designated ugly friend.
Yeah,
that's the movie.
Okay.
That's kind of a bad movie, but
I kind of liked it. Hold up.
But
that's alright. It was alright. Now that I think about it, it was alright.
Haven't watched that.
It's like a Nickelodeon.
Wait, hold on. Wasn't that like Nickelodeon? It's
it
rated
was
R.
Like that kind
of. Yeah, Nickelodeon rated R. Or yeah.
But from a conceptual point of view, some people make ugly friends to make them look prettier, and I think other people make good-looking friends for whatever reason.
She was looking at the camera to see if it didn't turn up. I don't know where she's over there.
I did acknowledge it because I wanted to.
Imagine she grabbed the whole camera and she fell with it. Whatever.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's a thing that I need to work on or if it's a thing you guys need to work on.
I almost fell, Jerry.
I just noticed this woke me up.
That's what.
Yeah.
Go on, sorry.
I don't know how many seconds it's been. It feels like 5 minutes, but I know it's not 5 minutes.
That's only been a couple seconds.
Someone's getting irritated.
Go ahead, go to the story before we forget it. Yeah.
Forget what?
You forgot.
So there's a friend who's a designated ugly friend to hype them up.
But also, people like good-looking friends. A lot of people like to make good-looking friends because now they're in the cool group. I think there's so many reasons as to why you would be attracted to an attractive person and why you'd be attracted to an ugly person, and it's not always sexual.
There we go. That's a good example right there. Like you want it. You're just there's something just bringing you there to that.
Yeah.
In that situation, you're either getting into that social group or you're getting kind of approval from something. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, as of today, I've come to the conclusion that you have gay energy, but you're not gay.
Approved.
But
you're not.
But this will be a conversation that will continue forever because
ages.
it's a fun conversation to have, and why not?
It's fun. We should bring it up too.
Right?
Well, we should. You can bleep it or whatever, but we should bring it to like guy guest, and we can bring up "Are you gay?" segment. You know, like it was like what's in what your name, whatever.
Right.
Like, are you?
Now that's debate club.
Yeah, that'll be the debate. Are you gay? And then with girls, maybe are you fucking lesbian? You know, like something like that.
Right, because we could bleep this out if you're not comfortable with me saying this, but you said you've teased your girlfriend about being bi, and I asked you the question: is she drunk girl bi, like she'll make out with the drunk girl, or is she bi, which is like what's wrong? Bottom of the drink, not so good.
Not good. Everything else was good. Now it's just.
I think because you didn't mix it, so.
Ruined.
Oh, you're just having the crema, maybe.
Yeah.
Or is it cold now or warm now?
It reminds me of this one thing I had when I was a kid.
Bottom of the Corona bottle situation.
No, it's different. I don't know what it is, but everything else I liked. No.
Oh, are you picky with food? I love bringing this up.
No.
He says he's not, but we think he is.
I'm like a little picky. Not too picky. For sure I was so picky back in the day, but nowadays I'm open to try stuff out.
Okay.
I'm open.
Right. So you're saying you're better.
I'm better at it nowadays.
You're better, but still picky.
But picky.
You're less picky than you used to be, but still picky.
That's defined picky.
Picky.
Came out picky.
Picky is.
Picky.
Yeah. It's fine. We could do
I think
this.
we know.
We could do this.
No, I think I think I would maybe consider. I would consider myself like in a different spectrum with picky. Like I'll be picky because I won't want that thing at that moment. You know what I mean? Like because you could tell if something's bad, or like you have your own taste of what's good and what's bad in food, right?
Right.
And I'll want a certain thing at that moment, so I'll discredit, or not discredit, but like put everything else out in the sides. I want a burger. That's all I'm gonna eat right now.
Right.
You know. But if I taste it and it's bad, I won't want to eat it anymore.
Yeah.
If I know it's bad, I'm not. I want to eat something else. So
yeah.
Is that? I don't know. It's like a different type of picky. I don't know.
K-Rod just went to the bathroom.
How do you describe that? Can you help me out?
I will in a second. K-Rod just went to the bathroom, and maybe, just maybe, we'll hear why I thought about spider woman pussy. There you go. So if she thought it was impossible, I mean, there's a lot of power there. Back to it.
Damn, also it reminded me of like Blastoise, you know?
For those who don't know, Blastoise is a Pokemon character, one of the biggest Pokemon characters. Cannons on the back.
Oh my god.
Hyper Beam, Solar Beam.
Oh, Hyper Pump or some shit.
No, it's Solar Beam.
No, isn't that Venusaur? It's just solar because he gets it from the sun.
You're right. Got my Pokemon facts wrong.
Hydro Pump. Yeah, wow. Hydro Pump.
How dare you correct an Asian person on his Pokemon facts?
Might be Asian. You never know.
I might be Mexican. Never know.
Oh my god, broke the fucking mic first of all.
I am rusty. Picky.
Show them what you were trying to do, because I don't know, they're probably thinking you were like a dying, screaming lady.
We'll put it up on screen.
Not your usual picky, because I would wanna.
What is your usual picky?
Because I could eat stuff. I could eat anything. You'll give me something that I haven't tried, I'll eat it, right? But then once I taste it and I don't like it, I'm gonna be like, well, I don't want this anymore.
Isn't that everyone? That sounds like the regular picky.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So you are the regular picky.
No, that's not the regular picky.
Karina,
but what
describe.
How do you describe the picky?
Let me repeat what he said. She is now back in the bathroom. He says, "I'm not the regular picky. I'm in a different category of picky. I'll eat anything you put in front of me, but when I taste it, I go, I'm gonna disregard it." What does that mean?
No, I won't I'll eat it if I don't like it. Of course, if you like something, you'll keep eating it. If I don't like it, I'll just stop eating, and I'll be like, I want something else.
What is that to you? Is that a different kind of picky?
That's something else. Hey, don't sway.
I asked it like you said the thing, so.
I think it's still picky, but he's not as picky as his nose.
Say it one more
Because
time.
he'll give it a try. He'll actually taste it. But if she be like my mom, I would just be like, I don't like that thing because blah blah blah. Without tasting.
That's what I'm saying. I'll try it out. I'm eating fucking a scorpion fucking pass. You know what I mean? I'll eat it. If you describe it, like, okay, well, let's eat it. Let's try it out. And if I don't like it, I can spit it out or do anything.
But you know what you say every time you eat something new? What is that? What's in there? What is that? What is that? Is it good? Like, why don't you just try it? You know?
I guess I'm picky when it comes to like what's in front of me. There's just a selection that I know, and if you describe the things that are in it, I'll be like, yeah, I'll be picky, and that's it. In that sense. But when it comes to actually just trying new things in the food, I'm not picky. I'll eat it. Yeah. But in the selection, I am picky. Yes.
In this election?
No, selection.
Oh.
If you had a choice.
I was like, harsh segue. By the way, my mom said if Armando doesn't like what I give him today, I'm not going to make him anything anymore. She's going to bring his own food.
Hold on, did she really say that?
She did say that because why? She thinks you're picky for not liking what she brought last time.
Hold up, dude.
But you might not even try it, right? You might have to.
And it was burrito.
It's not because I'm picky, because I'd have to maybe go out.
Yeah. It was a burrito with beans, rice, and a specific. I think I told you it was chicken, but it was actually pork.
But I tried it out, and then I was like, okay, well, I like some of it, and I was like, the pork, was it pork, right? Yeah. I was like, something about it I don't like. It wasn't your regular pork, so I'm like, I can't eat it.
Apparently, it was Vietnamese pork, is what she said.
Yeah. Maybe it was also cold. That's why I didn't like it as much. But yeah, so I was like...
And you're like, do you want this? I don't think I'm going to finish it. While eating only 40% or less than 40 at that point.
Yeah, 40. I think at that point, yeah. But then I finished more a little later because I was hungry.
Yeah.
But...
There's that.
No, like, disrespect to the Mama Owl food, you know what I mean? But... I gotta eat good food. I wouldn't say it's bad food.
There you go. So that's picky to me. I think what you described there was picky. Yeah.
I don't know. Where y'all picky eaters at? I don't know.
Especially if it's free, If it's free, then like.
So you're saying I have to eat it because it was free?
I think if I went over to your mom's house and
you don't have to eat it. I'll be like, you don't have to eat it.
I'm gonna eat it. That's just how
different.
I am.
There we go. That's one. Yeah. There's two different people. I'll be like, you don't have to eat it. If you like, you can eat it.
I'm gonna eat it. No matter what.
Jesus. Yeah.
And maybe it's a politeness factor. I think it's...
But he's probably being more picky because she's not here, right?
Oh yeah, I could see that. Yeah. But even if you brought me food from your mom and if it sucked, I would suck it up. I would just eat it. That's just in my personality, I think. Because I don't want to... I want to like it. I want to show that I like it. I want to show that I appreciate it. So I'll eat it.
But imagine you're like in the table. Ever seen those movie scenes where like they like have a bunch of people on the table and it's like one of the guests is like the first time there and they're like, and the mom brings a casserole or whatever or something and they're like, do you like it, Jimmy? And he's like, yeah, I like it, and he just spits it out on the side, but he won't show that. He'll put when she leaves the table, then he'll kind of just put it in this napkin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's disrespectful.
Well, no, it's just like, why would you want to put something in there? If you don't like it, why are you gonna eat it? Why are you gonna keep on eating it? That's just
respect. I think you should respect the person who made it and eat it.
No, what the hell? You're shoving food in someone's mouth. No, you're not. It's respect. You can say that. Thank you for the food, of course. Thank you, thank you for having me over and bringing me the food. That's very respectful. I respect that. But if you eat it and then you start either you're about to throw up, don't eat it.
Is that how you felt?
No. I mean, it was not bad. It wasn't that bad. But I'm just saying, if it comes to the point where it's bad and you really don't want to eat it, I think it's not disrespectful. You could tell, you could kind of lie to them, or you could also tell the truth. You could be like, I'm not hungry. So you don't have to be like disrespectful in the sense where you spit it out in front of them, right? You can just be like, oh, like it's like I'm not a big fan of this food.
You would say that?
You could say that. Yeah.
I think that's disrespectful.
How?
I think that's 100% disrespectful.
How? Explain.
Because
Change my mind. Yeah.
You know, and maybe it's we grew up in a different culture, and I'll say that. But I think if someone makes something for you, right, and it's on the table, I think the golden rule is to eat it. Is to eat it because that's their one way of showing you love or welcome. That's the one thing that family could do for you. They can't really do anything else for you. If you're sleeping over, they could, do the bed, they could do all this. But the one thing that, whether it's the mother, father, whatever, they're proud to share is maybe their culture, is their food. They're sharing their culture with you. And I think to show that sort of open-mindedness is respectful to say, thank you for the food, like with my words and through the physical motion of eating it, and it's to say I've enjoyed your presence and I've accepted the one thing that you could do for me. And I think it's easy. I don't think it's really that hard to do that. And I think that's why it's respectful, because it's not that hard to do it, even if it doesn't taste good.
Yeah.
Unless it has beef dick, then obviously it's a fun little, maybe they're trying to fuck with you or something. But if it's a casserole, like it's just a casserole, tastes like ass, fucking eat.
But some people, a beef dick is a cuisine for them.
Delicacy.
Yeah, delicacy. And it's something, well, some villages out there in the world, they're like, they will give you that. Like,
but it's a fun thing. It's like a haha, like they slap you on the back, like, because they know they're entering into different territory, right?
But it could still be the same. They could come into giving you that thing of saying, like, this is all we have in the village. It could be like egg, like chicken balls or something. And this is what we have in the village. We want to give you this.
You should eat it.
You got it.
Unless
you can eat it, but then you're not gonna. You can say that you didn't enjoy it. You're like, yeah, I ate it, but it wasn't good. Like,
that's what I'm saying. You shouldn't spit it out, and you shouldn't say you didn't enjoy, unless it is like beef steak or something like that.
It could be to the extreme, right? Beef stick or just regular chicken or anything, something like that, right?
Yeah.
But I think it still works the same. It's still like you don't want to eat something you don't enjoy. Like, why are you putting yourself in that position? And you could just be honest and tell them, yeah, like, I don't like it as much. And but you'd be like, thank you for the food, though. Thank you for the. Yeah. I'll be like that. I'd be like, thank you for the food. I really respect that. But I see where you're coming from like their culture, I guess, of like where. Because I think it's kind of like that in like Latino families too. Like they'll give you food. They'll want to give you a lot of food, and sometimes it's hard like not to say no, and especially if you don't like the food. Because then I remember one time my grandma, I think she made me food, and I think she made it. And I don't know what I said. I didn't say I liked it. I said I didn't eat it all, and she got mad. And I'm like,
yeah,
because she made it, and it's like a love thing, of course.
Yeah. But
I was like, I couldn't eat it all. I was full, or I didn't, or I'm not sure if I was full or I didn't like it. I was just like, I couldn't eat it all. Like,
yeah.
But I told her like it was. I was like, I think that for it too. I'm like, Abuelita, thank you, like thank you for this. And she was like, you didn't finish it, and I'm like, sorry, like, what do you mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't force myself to eat it. Like, what do you want me to do?
But you can.
And what?
But you can.
What?
What is the one thing grandma and mom's always gonna say to you? Did you eat? Mm-hmm. Did you eat? Oh, are you not eating? How come you're not eating? Mm-hmm. You have to eat. That's on their mind 24/7. Imagine how them saying that all the time, and then making the thing that they're like, oh, like, they spend time out of their day, and it's like, oh, this is like, mom's favorite, whatever. This is a recipe that she's proud of. Like, it's just like, and say you're there for like a trip, or like you're just new people and you're there for a day, 2 days. Suffer for 2 days. It's suffer for 2 days, and you get back and you feel it's like you didn't die. You didn't fucking die. It's just like you can do just that little. And then you can go back to your home and enjoy all the good shit you want.
I don't know. I'm like thinking about the time also when I was in Pakistan, and and I tried new stuff, and they were telling me that like if you don't like it, you don't have to eat it. They really felt that too. I think maybe that's their culture too. Like if you don't, I don't know how it is over there in Pakistan, but they were saying like you don't have to eat it. If you don't like it, we give you something else. Like you just tell someone you don't like it. I'm like, oh, okay. But fortunately enough, I liked the food, so I didn't have to say anything. But they just kept telling me like, hey, you like it? Like you don't have to eat it. Like you can stop right now. They're telling me straight up, and I'm like, no, it's really good actually. And they're like, okay, keep going. So let us know. They were actually really wanted to know if it was good because they didn't want me to eat something I didn't like. So I don't know. I grew up differently, different cultures too. So it's like I don't know. But I understand the other side too.
Yeah. It's like your culture and then like entering a different culture. I think it's such a compliment and a happy feeling from the other to feel that you've enjoyed their food. I think so I kind of, even if I came from a different culture, I think I would disregard my culture for their culture. Because it depends on what part of the country you're going to, what kind of food you're trying, and then like you said, like it's like you're there, you want to experience everything, you want to at least try it, and I think I just push like a little beyond that, and I think you should. I personally think like if you're entering, it's like when in Rome. That's what I think. When in Rome. So
when in Rome, eat this cock dick.
So did you gag on the burrito my mom made you last time?
I don't want to say it.
Say it.
No, I didn't want to gag. It was more like just it didn't taste good because it was I think cold and it had
Gamey?
I think it was no, because I eat pork, but that one was just basically it was chewy. I don't like eating chewy meats because the fat of the meat.
Yeah,
I think it had fats in there, so that's why. And I will gag if I eat it. So basically,
you will gag.
I will gag if I eat the fat of it. Like I will go like and I'll start having that teary guy. You know when you eat something nasty.
Yeah.
That was gonna happen. So if I kept doing that, I felt I kept spitting out little pieces of the fat. So I'm like I can't eat this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not that damn. Like I mean I did like some.
You were physically unable to eat that Vietnamese pork.
I could, because I think I could eat it, but then it's gonna make me gag at one point.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's worse if I gag. Like imagine I'd rather put it down and make it seem like I'm not hungry if I was on the table, if it was with your mom or someone, other people. I'd rather just put it down than actually keep forcing myself, and then at one point gag. I'll make it seem more like I'm disrespecting their food, like because it's so nasty that I'm gagging. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I want to just make it seem like I think I have to
But
stop
if it doesn't taste good and you don't gag, you'll eat it.
If it doesn't taste
good and you won't gag, you will eat it.
If it doesn't taste good, I won't eat it. Yeah, I mean, I still won't. I mean, it still won't taste good. I mean, well, that's the thing. Like, yeah, like
because food isn't all about taste. That's the point I'm trying to make.
What you mean? I mean, there is part to it. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. If someone is giving you a meal, it's not all about the taste, right? Someone is sharing a meal with you, right? That's so much more. That's so much far beyond. Like, oh, I want this. Of course, they want it to taste good for you, but they're also we're all sharing a dinner experience together, and part of that is eating the meal, right? That's just the point I'm making.
Yeah, there's the aspect of food that that brings people together, right?
Yeah, it's like Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving isn't all about the food. It's about the get together, and then like the food enhances the experience. But if you see someone not enjoying the food, it doesn't enhance the experience. You know, it makes the experience lesser. And I would hate to be the person that makes the experience lesser by not participating. You know, it's a participation that enhances the social dynamic. You know,
I had an experience where I think I went to, I don't know what it was potluck or something that we were all eating together, and I think I haven't had that part where you don't want to eat anything on the table. I think I've always gotten lucky with having at least one thing that I like, even if the other things I won't eat the other things, but there's one thing in there. I haven't been in that point where everything in that table is something that I didn't enjoy. I didn't want to eat. There's always been one thing at least in that table that I'll enjoy, and I'll go for that, and I'll eat the shit out of it, and I won't touch the other things.
That's fine. That you found your thing,
but But then when it comes, I'm wondering when that time comes where there's nothing on the table that I don't like. I don't know. I'm just gonna be like, fuck, I'm about to starve.
I'm telling you, bro. You sort of have a social obligation to just. And I find it hard that you don't see it, you know, because like I said, it's not about. It's not about sharing. It's not just about it tasting good, and by you doing that, you're making it just about the taste.
Well,
That's
I think,
why it's not so.
I think food for me is just a big majority is a taste. I don't know. I'm a big fan of it,
right? But you're not eating by yourself. You're eating with others, right?
When it comes with other people, I mean, I still think. I mean, you're there for the food. I mean, the food is there, placed there. That's the thing you. That's part of it too, that experience with other people, right? But then you have to find something that's good to eat for you, right? You still have to find something to eat.
But you're saying in that example, if you find nothing,
it'll be hard, yeah.
And it's like a Thanksgiving situation, and there's 8 people in the table.
I'll bring some
you're really not gonna eat.
I'll be like, I got this. I'll have a PB&J, I guess.
Yeah, that'll really piss me off as the host.
I'll be like,
PB&J.
Yeah, PB&J.
Yeah, that's super disrespectful.
How? All right, Karina, what do you think about this? We need another second opinion, because I see this.
If you bring your own food to a restaurant, it's disrespectful. If you bring your own food,
there's different. That was a hyperbole, of course. You're not just gonna bring your fucking food, because then you're expecting something bad, right?
But no, that's why I said it's more disrespectful
to
bring a PB&J.
Because it can be like, I'm vegan, so I brought my own food.
Yeah, if you say you're a vegan, but if you're just picky, I think that's disrespectful.
There's a lot of picky eaters out there. I don't think it's more just you either get that acquired taste, you want that food in that certain moment.
You have to fight, you can just pretend.
Yeah, because I pretended at times too. I'm just like, okay, well, I'll eat. I don't like it that much.
It's polite to pretend.
Yeah, and I'll say, okay, I'll eat it, and I won't say that I don't like it. You know what I mean? No, because they gave you the food.
So you wouldn't be honest about unless
if they want my opinion, I'll be like, I don't like it too much, but you know what I mean. Yeah, but you'll eat it. You'll be like,
I'd rather you lie.
You want me to?
Because we're talking about being polite and respectful, right?
Yeah.
And you have to put that in. You have to look at those things in those interactions. You have to. It's new people, right? They're providing you free food, right? And what are you doing for them? You're not doing them anything other than socializing. And the one thing you could do is to eat it or to fake it. And I think if they ask you your opinion, you say, "Oh, it's good," or my stomach just hurts. I think you should lie. I think you should, if you don't enjoy it, lie.
Just lie?
Yeah.
But then that follows with the whole thing, like, I don't know.
Sometimes you don't tell people the truth.
You gotta tell lies at times?
I mean, your girlfriend asks you, am I fat? Right? And maybe you think she is getting a little fat. Don't say she's fat.
You could say in a way where it's more like it doesn't say you're fat. You're fat. You could be like, well, you're gaining a little bit of weight. You could say that.
You could.
That still means the same thing.
I don't know. This is a little easier. I'm just saying like where you could say it in the more polite way. Where you're not gonna say fat, or you're gonna say like, oh, you could work out a little bit if you want.
Maybe.
Yeah. You can say like that too. You could be like, what do you think? Yeah. I mean, you don't have to fully lie. It's not like, but you could. It's like a little lie.
But you understand that analogy, right? There are some moments that you shouldn't be direct. You can't be direct in every aspect of your life 24/7. You can't tell the truth and be direct all the time. You have to pick and choose your battles. And I think it's one of those. I think eating.
Okay, take this for example. We have a friend who invited us to dinners many times, and he's made this specialty that has yellow and stuff on it.
Who's the friend?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Michael.
But it has yellow stuff on that. Basically, yeah. He has made us mac and cheese in the past. And you told him that it wasn't that good on the spot.
I did.
He made you the food. And what do you think he'll feel too? I mean, you're going to feel a little bad, but you told him the truth.
I told him the truth.
There we go. It's the same thing. Same thing you could tell someone who invited you over. Because he invited us over.
Let me tell you why it's not the same.
All right.
He's my friend. That's the simple explanation. And our dynamic is very, I'm direct and I bust his balls. Right? Whereas my mother, different dynamic. Right? Power dynamic. She's always my mother. I'm always her son, right? There's a social hierarchy, mother-son. Now, if I go into another family, there's also another social hierarchy, which is you are first and I am second. Why? I'm entering into
different
let me put you on a little. I'm entering into a social hierarchy where I am second and they're first. And I know this is not something that they do for everybody.
Yeah.
And I know that I can't be busting balls and being direct with everyone I meet. So I'm lower in this social hierarchy. Therefore, I accept more than I reject. Whereas they could do whatever the fuck they want. Yeah. Right? But with Michael, I bust his balls all the time. That's our, you want to call it hierarchy or dynamic, is that I bust his balls, and we laugh about it. So I see those things as completely two different things.
We can see that too, yeah. It's dynamic, but of course you're saying like you'll want to accept everything, of course. Of course, that's the initial thing you would want to do, and I think that is the right thing to do. You should accept everything that is given to you from like a guest or whatever, because they're the guest, or you're the guest basically. So of course they will want to treat you well, do something. You'll accept it, even if you don't want to. You'll accept it, but then if it turns out to be something that's bad, and especially that's something that you don't like, then
lie.
No, you don't have to lie. You can just tell straight up. Like, be like, you could thank them. That's the thing. That's a respectful way of doing it. Be like, thank you. Thank you for bringing to the home and everything. But I mean, I couldn't eat the food. I mean, maybe I like this other thing there, but I mean, I couldn't eat it. I couldn't eat it, but thank you. So I don't know.
Why can't you just say, my stomach hurts, or I already ate dinner? Why is that so hard to do?
Yeah, you can say that too. I'm just saying. But you could
that's
also,
what lying is.
I guess you could lie too, but
that's the better option. That is the better option.
I guess. I don't know. I just think. I don't know. I think that saying the truth in that situation might just be like a good option too.
So you want?
I don't know what is the best option. I'm still trying to think, but But if you don't like it, of course,
and being brutally honest about it is like, what is that gonna achieve to? What are they gonna make their dish better? Is that your intent? What is your intent by telling them the truth? What is that going to do?
Well, you don't want to tell them straight up, like, after they're finished, like, yo, I didn't like the food. Of course not. You're like, who does that? Like, you don't want to do that.
So what would
they ask you?
Yeah. But why be truthful? Give me a pro to what being truthful would be.
Just letting them know that, I mean, maybe that certain person won't like the foods in the future. That's all they know. Maybe like this, I don't know. It's just telling them straight up, like, from your opinion.
But why?
But why?
Yeah, I think there's more cons than pros. I think it's I don't think it's so respectful unless you have a good reason as to why you want them to know. If you think it sucks ass and no one's told them, so you're gonna be, the savior that tells them.
Yeah, you don't have to. We don't have to say like that in terms of your food sucked ass. You just say it wasn't like too much.
I know, but why? What's the reason as to why you would tell the truth in that scenario?
Well, because then they will also ask like, oh, like, I didn't see you touch your food too much or something like that. You could just say, well, to be truthfully honest, I can't eat it, and I thank you for the food that you're giving me, but I can't eat it, and I will thank you. I'll try eating it right now if I can. And then that would be one of the reasons.
But what would it do? What would it do? How does
just letting them know that maybe they have to get something else for the guest, or maybe they just have to kind of like figure out something for the guest, because then it could be anybody who could say that too.
So you want them to cook something new for you?
They don't have to cook anything new. They just be like, oh, I'm sorry. So we'll see what you just say. We'll see what we have. It doesn't have. Most of the time, I think you'll find something for the guest. You know what I mean? But if that ever happens, I mean, you're just gonna have to kind of deal with it in a way. It's just like, oh, I'm sorry. I guess, yeah, we have this food. It's just all we have.
As I'm clear, you want them to find something else for you? Is that what it is?
No, I'm not gonna ask them like, yo, find me something else to eat. No, I just be like, I can't eat it. I'll try to eat it. It's okay. But yeah, you just gotta say that. You just can't eat it.
But what would be the outcome of that situation other than them feeling bad about it?
You're not trying to make them feel bad.
But they are going to feel bad.
That's on them. That's on them.
That's on them?
Yeah, that's on them.
That's on you.
No,
if you eat the food, it wouldn't make them feel bad.
No, because they're asking. Because then if they ask you like, oh, why are you picking your? Why were you? Or it looked like you were picking your food and you didn't finish it. I'll be like, I can't. You can say like, oh, your stomach hurt, this and that too. But you can also say it didn't taste that good to you.
I have an example.
Yeah.
That relates to you actually. I know you talk about like you're learning how to cook and make omelets. And, but you did mention your sisters didn't like your food, and you got a little offended. Isn't that similar?
Kind of. I mean, I made the food, but that makes me. But then it helps me out. I'm like, I kind of want to like, let's see what I can make.
I mean, you expressed that you were a little upset.
Yeah, of course, naturally, because I was trying to make some bomb ass omelet, so I'm like, I want to make a good ass omelet.
But doesn't it kind of relate?
Kind of.
You don't think most people
like they're you're their host in that case for breakfast?
That's how most people would feel if someone didn't have that experience, and that's sort of a universal thing. Most people know that if you don't like someone's food and that is clear to them, that person feels not so good.
Yeah. But I guess in your case, I know you're close to your sister, so they knew it wasn't gonna like hurt you that bad.
Exactly.
Or the other
so
thing,
they were honest with you,
exactly.
But you wouldn't normally do that to like say your girlfriend's mom, you know?
Exactly. Your girlfriend's mom, great example.
I guess.
You wouldn't react like your sister's reacting towards you.
I guess it goes back to like the picky eater then.
It
goes back to the picky eater. Well, then that's another thing you could say now. You could be like, I'm just a picky eater. Like you could say that basically, because then I think that's probably the best. That's probably the best option. Better. Yeah, that's probably the best option.
Yeah.
Because then everybody has their own taste, right? And you could be like, I'm just a picky eater. I'm just there. I think that might be the best option. Now we found them. There we go.
Maybe, but as a brutally honest host, I think I would say, why is picky is something that you could give up for this moment.
Okay. All right.
Right? Picky is something you could give up for this moment.
I think we've come to the conclusion that he's really picky.
There you go. It could be anybody.
So
not even me. I'm just saying like.
I think this is where this conversation started.
Yeah, that's how I'm like. How picky you really are. Yeah. Back. That's what I'm saying.
And I think
that's the best answer.
I think you are really picky.
You're really picky.
You're willing not to give up.
Yeah. There we go.
You being picky over being nice to someone.
Yeah, so you're not kind of picky. You're really picky.
I'm the mean picky. And we're like, well, I'm just picky. I can't eat it. Yeah.
All right.
No, I'm just picky basically.
But at the end of the day.
The next day.
All right, guys. Let us know what you would do in this situation. If you went out to your girlfriend's house for the first time and you're meeting her mother, maybe you want to make a good impression, whatever the case may be. You didn't enjoy the food. It was bad, but it wasn't bad enough to make you throw up. What would you do?
No, what do you do?
What would you do? Right?
Or I guess the better, like, what would you say if they asked you how the food was if you didn't eat it, right?
Yes.
What would you say in that situation?
There's
so many answers.
Would you respect the social hierarchy and say and lie, or would you be brutally honest and say in the nicest possible way, no thank you, I didn't enjoy it?
Be like,
and that's episode 24 for you guys. Cue music. Pass ball. Pass ball.
Mr. Gomez is like, fuck you guys right now. Primal Primos, subscribe, comment, let us fucking know.
I also wanted to do a section called Jeremy Practices Stand-Up. Because that is one of the things I want to be set it out to the universe.